live with Skywalker Boxing Media. We got Clubber D, the Combat G in the house. Dion, salute. And we also got Papi Chun Yayo in the house, salute. And we got a special guest repping Santa Ana, California, Ronny Rios. Big title fight coming up October 5th. How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me on your guys' podcast. Like I was telling you guys before, it's such a pleasure to sit down with you guys. And actually, it's I always have a good time doing interviews. But like as we were talking behind scenes, it's an honor to talk to you guys and be on your guys' show, man. So thank you guys for having me on there.
Hey, man, my pleasure, man. And I'm a big fan of yours, bro. I don't care about bias, man. I always root for you, bro. Big fan of you and your brother, bro. And yeah, man, thank you for coming on and giving us your time. We know you're busy, man. You're putting in that work. I never spoke to you, brother. And I want to start off with a simple question. What got you into boxing?
My uncle, man, my uncle. And it's funny that we're just talking about this, but my uncle he's a veteran too for the Marines,
Nice.
Yeah, he did a few tours. I want to say Afghanistan and Iraq, and he's a big boxing fanatic to this day. I still hang out with him. I was with him like 2 weeks ago. I see him often, and it's just one time he was taking care of us when we were 13 years old, and he's always been a boxing fanatic. He always used to have KO magazines, the Ring magazines. I don't know if you guys remember those.
Yeah,
Ring
magazine. The old school ones. I remember the first one I saw was a Sugar Shane Mosley versus Vernon Forrest Part 2. I remember I was like, man, I was a little kid, right? And I was like, man, those names are cool. I was like, I can't believe that those are actually somebody's names, right? So I picked up the centerfold and I started reading it, and I got hooked, man. I remember I just read the whole magazine, and he probably must have had like a good 20, 30 magazines. I read all of them that weekend because he took care of us that whole weekend. And then my very first fight that I ever saw live was Floyd Mayweather versus Jose Luis Castillo Part 2. I remember that I was yesterday.
Oh.
That was the very first fight.
So yeah, man, going to an actual fight, man, can, even if you're not a boxing fan, man, it can definitely make you a fan for life. You know what I mean? That's a great fight right there to go to.
Yeah, not live, but I saw it on TV. I think it was on HBO, not live, but I saw it on TV live. You know what I mean? It was like the very first fight that I didn't see recorded. That's what I mean. I apologize.
Nice.
That's good, man.
Yeah, and then I wanted to ask you, man. I know that back in 2022, you were deciding, you were you thought about retiring, but what made you want to come back and get back in the grind?
I mean, I did retire. I retired for about 2 years. At that time, it was like 1.5. I retired, and it was just saying there's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors that a lot of fighters don't talk about. And now they're starting to come up with that more like mental health and stuff like that. But that was one of the things with mental health, was just having a huge fallout with my previous team. And I was just like sick of the sport, So I retired. I got a job, everything was going good. Family life was great, I should say. And then I told my wife, I was like, "Man, you know what, babe?" I was like, I think I know I can win that title. She's like, I remember I was like yesterday, she's like, well, then go for it, then do it. And I was like, yeah. And I remember I was working at this apartment complex. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Avalon Bay.
No.
They're nationwide. They're nationwide. They're also Eves, They have Eves, Avalon Bay. They have the few other ones. So I had a job, and I told my wife, I was, you know what, babe? I was like, I'm gonna reach out to somebody. So I reached out to somebody, and sure enough, we got a fight. And this fight was supposed to take place, I believe it was December 11th. So we started training for the fight, and then October 28th came around, and then my brother-in-law passed away.
Oh man.
Yeah. I remember we got the call. This was like around 12:20 at night. It was October 28th. And then I remember like it was yesterday. My wife started obviously, crying, and she told me what happened. I was like, no way. I was like, it kind of took me a while for it to hit me, because I was like, no way. We just saw him like a week ago, like a couple of days ago, I should say. I was like, no way. I said, no, babe. It's like you can't. And I was really close to him too. I was really close to him. And then I remember, so we got up, we got the kids up, we went to my in-laws, and sure enough, they told us that he had passed away. And for me, it didn't sit well. Maybe I just thought like, oh, maybe he passed out. Maybe they think he passed away, but he's just passed out. But sure enough, he did pass away. And I was like, you know what, man? I was like, my wife has always been there for me when I needed her. So I was like, I can't just, I can't just take this fight. And not only that, I also felt it too. Emotional. It was emotional. It was very, very hard for me too.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up backing out of that fight, and and then some time went by. So I reached out to my buddy, my good buddy, I should say, Robert Diaz.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Robert Diaz, I want to come
Nice.
back. So we had a meeting. We had to sit down with the wives. And I was like, look, man, I was like, I want to go for that title. And he's like, okay. He's like, I like what I'm hearing. Let's move forward. So he set up the fight with Polanco. Sure enough, we went out there and, we got the job done. And he just keeps presenting us with big offers. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Man, that was you. Do you know how well you do the impersonations of Robert Garcia? Has anybody ever told you you're good at that?
Robert is? No, Robert is.
You sound just like it.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close.
Robert is, yeah. You know what? My hat goes up to Robert is. That guy is the definition of a real friend, a loyal friend, I should say. He's always been there, win or losses. I remember my very first loss. I was with Golden Boy Promotions, and I lost, and they took me to the ER for just like a checkup, routine checkup. I remember I was like so down. I was like, damn, I can't believe I lost my first loss. I was just like out of it, I was just mentally. I remember I was sitting down on the chair or the gurney, I can't remember. I remember Robert Diaz walks into the door. I was like, oh man, that's the last person I expected to see. But sure enough, he walked in. He said, hey, don't worry about it. We'll come back, learn from it. So he's always been in my corner.
That's good stuff. All you need is the backwards hat. You sounded pretty spot on.
Just like
Robert Diaz. Robert Diaz, man. Yeah, so yeah.
You mentioned your last fight, so I want you to speak on that a little bit against Nicholas Polanco on Pro Box. It was an amazing fashion how you won. Can you just rate your fight? Tell us how you feel about that victory.
I felt good at that time. I felt good. I did miss on my one of my hands in the fourth round, I believe, fourth or fifth round. I did miss on I injured one of my hands. But I like the way we finished the fight, and I'm kind of glad we finished the fight because my hand was throbbing that night. And then I did notice that layoff I did feel the ring rust. It's funny that people would say ring rust. I never knew what that was because I never took more than like 13 months off prior to that. But now I know what it is. It's the timing, it's the seeing the punches, the stepping. So I was able to come back in, shed some rust off, and get prepared for this next fight that we're about to have.
Yeah, I mean, October 5th, you're gonna be in Liverpool. You're gonna be in England going against Nick Ball, and how'd that opportunity come to be? Like how'd that happen?
So we had gotten this offer to fight somebody else in September, and we're like, okay, yeah, we accepted the fight. Sure enough, the WBA didn't approve of the fight, so we're like, okay. So then I was like, damn, I was kind of hoping for that fight too, because it was gonna be for like not the main title, but it was gonna be like an interim title. And they're like, and then Robert's like, okay, it's like the WBA didn't approve of it, but we got this offer on the table, and I was like, what offer is it? It's like it's Nick Ball for the super champion. I was like, man, Robert, why didn't you start off with that? Like, I was like, yeah, we want that fight. I was like, when is it? And he told us the date. I was like, all right, man. I was like, let's do it. Sure enough, we're here now.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Man, the Nick Ball opportunity just fell right into your lap. Man.
That's wild.
Holy cow. So, well, we know how it is to have to go in somebody else's backyard and go get the strap. How do you feel about going overseas to go into his backyard, to go into all that hostile territory and try to bring that the strap back, man? What do you think about that?
No, we were there about 2.5 weeks ago. We were there for the press conference. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but in my opinion, this is the way a challenger should try and take the title away. Right? Go to the champion's backyard and try to take it. That's what we're trying to do, and this is the blueprint for it. This is in my opinion, this is the way it should be. So we're doing exactly what I think we should be doing. And now it's time. It's almost time to go out there and make it happen. The training has been great. The training has been phenomenal. It's been such a good camp. It's been a great camp. Weight has been good too. I've never been this light weeks before the fight, so that's also another plus. But just like you said, I gotta wait to see how I'm gonna be the week of the fight when I'm in his backyard. Because right now I can't say, oh, I'm gonna be great on this. I don't
Right,
know
yeah.
yet. I've never been in this situation, so this is a first for me. But I'm looking forward to it. You know.
Yeah, man. Listen, their fans over there are hostile to they're really hostile, man. They just break out into song, like they start singing about stuff over there, bro. It's being over in Europe is an experience into itself. So look, man, we know this is your third opportunity for for the glory. I mean, has any of the media people put pressure on you to feel like, if you don't do it this time, this is it, or something like that? Has that occurred?
No, hasn't occurred, but let's be realistic. More than likely, that's the case here. But I'm not really looking at that. I'm looking at the opportunity that's presented in front of me. You know, I can't tell myself, oh, what if, what if? No, man, I've already been down this road, and I've already, there were some times where I did get nervous, and things didn't go my way, and the things that I feared the most didn't really happen. So I've been in this situation. This is what it's called about experience. This is what experience is about. So I've been on this road. The only thing that I'm saying is like I've been giving it everything I got physically and mentally up to this point. We got about what 3 weeks from Saturday. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I know Nick Paul's gonna bring a fight. I don't have to go and chase him. I don't have to cut the ring off. He's bringing the fight to me.
Wrecking ball.
So
Sir, that's one thing you can bank on. He's
Mhm.
not. He really is a
Yeah,
little wrecking ball. I think he's a better version of Isak Pitbull Cruz and a couple other fighters who go forward but tend to gas out when they miss a lot. He has better
yeah.
footwork.
Right.
So hey, we know that's gonna be. I'm calling it right now. This is gonna be some fight of the year type stuff. That's what we like.
I mean that's what everybody likes, and I don't mind. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys what I tell everybody else. So I gotta do what I gotta do to get that belt. I don't mind if I have to slug it out, box, whatever I gotta do. As long as it gives me a higher chance to bring that belt back home, I'm willing to
Mhm.
do whatever I gotta do. So if that means standing in the middle of the ring and trying to throw punches, I gotta do it. I gotta put my body and my mind through it too. So now I also have to prepare myself physically and mentally too. So that's where we're at right now.
I know Skywalker wanted to ask you another question.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching the press conference earlier, and I was thinking about you as well, Ronnie. Is when I seen a cool boy Steph up there. I heard that you had that opportunity to fight him as well. To that you could have been on this Canelo Berlanga card this weekend as well.
Yeah, but that was the one that I was talking about. That I guess they didn't approve of the fight or something like that. So
Oh,
obviously went.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I had heard. I don't know what really happened. That's just what was passed down to me. And
But this is
I
better
guess
Sounds like
because
somebody to
it's for a strap. So you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
it's better
that's
sound
what I
like
opportunities.
don't get
somebody
it.
don't want you to steal the show.
Exactly.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they would do that. I honestly, that's just the answer that was related back to me. So I was like, man, and I had gotten my hopes up too because it was for a world title. I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
So then obviously when Nick Ball was presented, I was like, oh hell yeah, it's another world opportunity. So I was like, let's do it. And it also gives me the opportunity to get out of my comfort zone and go to the backyard too. Like I said, this is a way, in my opinion, a challenge.
Yeah,
It's,
it's froze a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. Did you guys say something? I'm sorry.
Oh no,
there
yeah,
you
you
go.
froze
You're
a little
back.
bit. You're back good.
Yeah, you're back.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they call it a world title, so you got to fight overseas. So you got to defend it and
Right.
win it overseas. So it's not just called the American title. So you're going over there, gonna do your thing. So it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I knew you were signed with Golden Boy. Are you still have a relationship with Golden Boy, Ronnie?
No, right now with Pro Box,
Oh, Pro Box.
yeah.
Okay.
So when I fought MJ, our contract expired, but I still owed him that fight. And then obviously the MJ fight didn't go our way, so our contract expired. And when I was retired, obviously my contract was expired, so I was like, and I never reached out to him. And not only that, Robert Diaz wasn't there anymore. And to me, I'm gonna go wherever I feel the most loyalty that was given to me. So I called Robert Diaz to me. You know, to me, obviously Golden Boy was good to me when Robert Diaz was there. I wouldn't know about now.
Is it because you knocked out Canelo's cousin or no?
No, it wasn't Canelo.
You
It was
know,
Oscar.
De La
Oscar's
Hoya,
cousin.
De La Hoya's cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oscar's cousin.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how they go back and forth. Well, actually, they don't go back
Diego
and
De
forth.
La Hoya. I remember
Oscar
that
goes,
fight too. They were hyping
yeah,
him up pretty heavy, and you went in there and handled business. So.
Got him up
yeah.
out of there.
Now, I still want my story to be continue to be written. You know, and October 5th would be another opportunity to add more to my resume.
You're
That's
making a movie right now. You're making a movie.
And in the Ray Vargas fight, brother, I had you up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of other people. That was a very controversial fight, bro. And then if you look at it, bro, you went 12 rounds with elite fighters. You know what I'm saying? And you know, one was controversial. One you got caught in the final round. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you've been on the doorstep. I think you know the blueprint to becoming a world champ, bro. I think you can definitely do this, man.
Like you said, we were on the doorstep, but now it's time to open the door. You know, so
Yeah.
I do open the door, guys. And
It means necessary. You got to kick it open. Kick it open.
yeah.
Regardless of the fact, brother,
do.
you've never ducked no smoke, and you've always fought the best, man. And you've always put on a fucking war, man, a show. So I got a lot of respect for you, man. As far as the fighter, man.
I appreciate it. Likewise too, man. What you guys have done is I never did. So you know, my hat goes off to you guys too, man. You guys are veterans. You guys are true veterans, man. You guys serve this country, and my hat goes off to you guys.
Appreciate
the shout out. Hey man, so you know, on our channels are a little bit different from other people's. You know, we have a bunch of different unique perspectives that we like to, you know, offer to our public. There's a question that I always ask. It's like one of our famous questions that we ask on Tim and Tim show, and shout out to Mo Boxing, you know, no problems, them too. I would like for you to rank in order of importance for you. There's no right or wrong answer, by the way.
Okay.
If you could just rank in order of importance to you, legacy, belts, and money. And I got one other follow-up question after you answer that.
Okay, so it's legacy, belts, and money.
Right.
I would have to say number 1 is legacy, number 2 is belts, number 3 is money.
Okay. Yeah, like, hey, man, we've heard it from a bunch of different guys, and it sounds amazing either way it goes, because what it does is it gives people who aren't familiar with you, it gives them a way to understand what your thought process is, and then they get to watch you fight, and they can mend them together and come up with a somewhat understanding of who a fighter is. The follow-up that I have for there, I knew you were going to pick legacy as number 1. So here's my follow-up for that I already had planned for you. What do you want your story to be when it's all said and done?
Santa Ana's first world champion.
Nice.
Yeah, that's, you know, I'm from Santa Ana. Unfortunately, I wasn't born here, but I was raised here, and I still live here. I still live like a mile away from the heart of Santa Ana, and I love this town. You know, this town. I don't see myself moving out of this town. You know, this is where my wife and I have settled down. This is where we've raised our kids, and I think this is where we're gonna continue to move to. You know, and this place is really changing. So to me, that's always gonna be my goal, is to stay here. And there was one more thing that I was gonna say before you brought there's one thing in my life that I would probably rate higher than legacy. And you know, as a fighter, you always want to leave your legacy, because we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die eventually, and that's something that people are gonna see you by. But one thing to me that's above legacy is always gonna be my family. You know, to me that's gonna be number 1, because if losing my brother-in-law in the past opened up my eyes, it's like we don't know how long we have each other for. You know, we're all here for a short period of time. So to me, that outweighs everything that I'm trying to accomplish.
Right. Good. I did have a quick question for you. After, you know, they put the street name for you in Santa Ana, you get the key to the city. Are you a fellow Niners fan?
49ers fan. You know what? I don't really watch football. I'll be honest with you guys. I
Oh
watch football in
man.
the Super Bowl, but
Oh man. I had the hat ready for you and everything. I thought, you know what?
Yeah, I wanna touch on
I still
something.
got you up there though.
You're talking about your community of Santa Ana. I did some research on you too, bro. Today I was just looking because I was excited about the interview. I got to know more about Ronnie,
yeah.
and you're a philanthropist, and I
Yeah.
know that every year that you give away boxing equipment, clothes, and stuff like that to kids in your community, and you guys do that every year. That
Well, it's been a while. That was in my previous gym.
okay,
Sorry, guys.
That's all good.
yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, guys. For this next one, I want to do something different. You know, first I'm gonna go get that title. It's like my boy always makes. My boy always tells me, "Dad, we're trying to make history." You know, and I want to continue to do that. But after everything is said and done, I want to try and do something for my city in a different way. You know, because obviously, I would like to give away T-shirts and stuff like that. But sometimes,
Nice.
you know, having like a nice little meet and greet probably means more to somebody than have just you
yeah,
know, to me, time's more important than money. You know, so
Right.
I would love to do like a little. First, I want to bring that title back home. That's my goal. And then if everything goes as planned, I would like to do like a little meet and greet and stuff like that. You know, just to get
That's
more points.
Keyshawn Dave. I'm out in Hampton, Virginia, out on the East Coast, and I'm pretty close to where Keyshawn Davis is from. After he gets victories, he typically comes back and throws a barbecue for the community.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, man, he throws
Amazing.
barbecues out here for his community, and people come out and meet him and see him and things like that. That's an awesome perspective to get into. Speaking of someone out on the West Coast, Kobe Bryant used to be really big into philanthropy too. He said, how can I drive past all these homeless people every day to go to a game? And there's people sitting down there with $50,000 seats. There's all these homeless people outside the stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, what you're doing is important, man. And we're elated to be able to get you on our platform to show that
Sure.
you got to care about what's going on outside of the sport and in the immediate area you're in. That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, of
yeah,
course. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Like I always tell people, man, it doesn't matter what their race is, what their gender is, what their sexuality is. If I can help out anybody, you know, I'm all for it, guys. Like I said, I don't really care about what even people's beliefs are. You know, they might not be the same beliefs as me, but still, I'll still try to lend out a hand to anybody. You know, I don't try to discriminate in any things. And so I'll be open to anything that you guys have today. If you guys were to give me anything, I'll be open to anything, guys.
Good stuff, man.
yeah. Got any more
You
questions, Dion?
I think we kind of went over the ones I had. I did have a just another side question. Do you follow any other sports? Like if you weren't a boxer, what would be your passion?
You guys are not gonna believe me on this one. It's not sports.
Okay.
It's movies. It's movies and TV
Okay.
shows. Yeah.
You
Nice.
see yourself as an actor or just watching them?
I don't know about the acting part. I'm a terrible actor, to be honest with you. I would be more into the writing part. That's what I'm more into.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to write. You know, because every time I watch a movie, like if we watch a movie in a group, I'll be like, "Oh, watch, guys! I feel like this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen." Sure enough, I'm right 95% of the time, maybe 85.
Okay, so
It's trivia time. You're the man. I got you.
yeah, but okay, so what would crime and thriller be? Would that be somewhere your area of expertise?
I like that. Have you guys ever heard of? Have you guys ever read James Patterson books, like the Alex Cross
Yeah,
series?
Yes.
yeah.
I, I,
Oh
I
yeah.
have the whole collection, not the newest ones, but I have the whole Alex Cross series. You know.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Why-
interesting. That's really interesting. So, another thing that we do on our channel is we talk about psychology and sports psychology and performance anxiety and things like we discuss those things sometimes with our guests because we're just we're kind of curious as to how what a boxer's mindset is when they go to the ring. How do they deal with those things? Are they book readers? Do they, are they meditating? What sort of techniques are they using to remain calm? Is it just something that they do naturally, or is there an external source that kind of impacts them. And
Yeah, there's a few things that I've tried in the past. One of them was a sports psychologist. I did try that. That one helped a little bit, but I think for me personally, what helps me out the most is like when I'm getting ready for a fight, I'm like really locked in. I'm really like in the zone. I like to be kind of like left alone, and I just like to just keep going to the gym. It's funny because I hit up my team. I'll be like, hey, you know what, guys, let's go work out at this time. It's like, oh, already or again, I was like, oh, let's just to go practice on some new things, or like I'll be watching a movie or I'll be well with my family, and I just like I'll think of like new things to do in sparring, and it's just like unfortunately, it's something that doesn't go away easily. It's just no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're at, no matter if you're having fun or if you're bored, it's always gonna be in the back of your mind. Oh, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do this, or maybe I should throw the right hand. And then for me, I always think like, okay, if I'm gonna throw the straight right hand, I need to improve it. So what can I do? So I'll start throwing the medicine ball. I'll grab like the barbell and I'll start doing that. Or I'll do like little hand drills, like shoulder drills. I even work out like my wrist, my arm, my hands, stuff like that. It's just like I try to do everything as best as I can. My forearms, just because if you're gonna hit somebody, I want to make sure that everything is like up to date. You're starting with your
Mhm.
hands, your wrist, your forearm, your shoulder, everything. That's something that always like that I always think about.
Like it.
Okay. Do you ever train with your brother? I know he's bigger than you, but do you ever?
Yeah, we do. What's funny? Is, like we used to spar like back in the day when he first started out, right? And then obviously we were in the same gym, and we always used to run. We always used to be super competitive runners. Like we would always like brag. We would always throw it in each other's face, like, "Oh, I beat you in this race," or "I beat you in this run," or "I beat you in sprints," or I'm lighter than you, or "I can eat more than you." We would always be like that. But since I obviously I haven't been at that gym anymore, I haven't trained with them in about 2 years, maybe more. No, 2 or 3 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's funny. And it's funny now because now my brother and I we're still close, but we just don't talk about boxing anymore. We're not like we're just brothers, and we try to keep it like just family oriented stuff. We don't talk about working out or stuff like that. And that's been one of the biggest changes for us. As brothers.
Mm, yeah.
Dig it. Let's
I
see.
think I think we covered everything, man. I know it's pretty late. It's like almost midnight where they're at. They're on the East Coast. I'm an hour
Oh,
ahead of you, Ronnie. So I don't know if they're tired.
damn! No worries, guys.
You got
No
to
worries.
work tomorrow, right, Clever G?
Yeah.
Where you guys are from the East Coast? What cities?
I'm in Hampton, Virginia.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
in
okay.
Woodbridge, Northern Virginia. I'm like right outside DC.
Oh, damn. Okay, okay. I have a cousin that lives in Ashford. I think it's
Ashburn, that's near me. That's near me.
North Carolina,
That's
right?
There's a Ashburn, Virginia. That's where the football team. That's where they practice.
I
The
think it's
Commanders.
North Carolina, Ashford,
It could be Asheville.
Asheville.
Asheville. I think that's
Asheville.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's out there. Uh,
Yeah,
damn, that's cool, man.
it's
Good
different
food
out
down
there,
there.
man. You got to start dealing with them Appalachian Mountain people.
How
Yeah.
cold does it get down there?
Oh, buddy.
Good old
How,
boys.
how cold does it get for you guys?
No, man, listen, we have perfect weather here, man, to be honest with you. I think maybe it snows maybe once every couple years even.
Yeah,
No,
they
really?
get. He
Hurricanes.
gets a little different for me.
Yeah, I am in the perfect location because we have it's all beaches, man. Like this whole coast is like all beaches and natural preserves.
Oh,
It's something that people that are not aware of on the East Coast, but we probably have the best beaches on the East Coast, up and down.
have you guys ever been to the West Coast?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've
Not in a
been all
while.
Yeah.
over the world,
Oh yeah.
all over the
Really?
world, man. 40 countries.
No way, really? What's your favorite? What's your top favorite 3 places to visit?
uh, woo, that's a tough one, man. I gotta
Stumped you.
okay. Number one is gonna be 7 Mile Beach in Jamaica.
Oh, wow,
Um,
that's cool.
if you see the water on that place, man, it's the stuff that they make movies out of. Like
Really?
it's that type of yeah. That's number one. Number two, I'm probably gonna have to say the Swiss Alps, just for the scenery. I mean, I've seen the Grand Canyons and all that, but the Swiss Alps is something else to behold, man. It's majestic. And number three, it's gonna be somewhere between the Dominican Republic and Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Italy is they make movies out of this stuff for a reason. Like you see a lot of movies and you see backdrops with these places, man.
What about Japan? Have you been to Japan?
I've been
Never
Tokyo.
been there.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's military bases in all of these places, so that's
Yeah.
why we have had so much access to go to these places. When we get stationed overseas, we're able to travel and actually absorb the cultures and the things around us.
Damn, that's so cool, man. You guys, that's so cool. I mean, obviously, it's not because you guys were military, so I'm pretty sure you guys didn't get to enjoy yourselves that much, right? But
You have fun. Like when I was in the Navy, I was on an aircraft carrier, so we go to different Liberty ports, and you go to different places. You're there for maybe about a week or so, but each out of one of those days, you have a duty day where you have to stay on the ship and do your job. But you still get to go out, and we have our places we're allowed to go to and where we're not allowed to go to, like the red light district. Not that I would say that I would ever go there, but I had friends that went there and told me about it. But I'm saying it's pretty fun overseas. It's when you're young doing it, it's more of just you want to go have fun instead of actually enjoy the scenery. But when you're older, that's when you kind of appreciate where you're at. You want to be cultural, try to get something, that's something they eat instead of just going to find the nearest McDonald's and eating. You know what I'm saying? So you get a different mindset when you're older going overseas.
Out of all the places you guys have been to, did you guys ever feel like they just didn't like Americans?
France.
Yes.
Where?
Iraq.
For me, it was Marseille, France. We were in France right before the war started. They had like 500 people protest against us, throwing tomatoes at us.
Yeah. Everywhere
we went to, it was like
even like us. Yeah, we ran over some little girls on accident, and they set off protests, man, at the base, and we had to do a riot control and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
every country, bro. And the reason why is because Americans, I'm not trying to talk bad about my country, but Americans tend to think we're the best of everything. And instead of going to the place and being open culturally to experience what they have, we feel like we need to go over there and impress upon them what it is that we do.
It takes one bad person to get a bad impression. So like in Iraq, if a guy is whistling at a girl, of course, Iraqis are not going to like that. But that's one guy that's messing it up for everybody. You just created an insurgent. You know what I mean? You got someone that wants to kill Americans now because you're whistling at his daughter, or you're peeing in the street. You're peeing in the street with your stuff out.
Yep.
So any stupid actions like that create problems, and it's one bad apple that makes it bad for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Listen, man, I have this conversation all the time with people. And it's like I've tried to explain to them, we just had this thing with the Olympics, right? And you had the Australian girl who was not a good breakdancer. So, we see that as disrespect to the culture by her not understanding what her role is in the breakdancing, right? So when I would go overseas, all the different places that I went to, number one, I studied the place. I tried to learn how to say things in their language, tried to understand their culture. But the initial thing that they would compare me with would be hip hop. They think that whatever they're seeing in hip hop and on videos is actually how they're going to relate with me. So that's the first thing that always happens, is that they would relate to me with hip hop, but then I would be like, hey, look, I'm an engineer, right? I like classical music as well. I like such and such and so-and-so. Hip hop does not define who I am as a person. And then we just start having cultural exchanges. Maybe I'll make them some barbecue. Maybe they'll cook me their 7-course Italian meal. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm in Korea and I'm teaching them something. They're teaching me something. Or I'm in Italy, or I'm in South America somewhere, or wherever we're at. When we have those type of interactions, that's the stuff that builds. That's the stuff that builds friendships that never end.
Yeah.
And
out of all the places that you've been to, what food blew your mind? Like, oh my gosh, this food was amazing.
All of it, to include
Yeah,
Iraqi and Turkish food.
Korean
I
food.
never
Come
tried
on,
that.
bro.
For
Come
me,
on, bro.
when I went to Naples, Italy, that was their food was amazing.
I'm
There's
Mexican,
no,
bro,
Pizza,
and
the
I
lasagna.
like chile. I like chile picoso. I like hot, eating like a Mexican, bro, and Korean. They make soups that are like caldos, bro, with kimchi and
Oh,
vegetables, and
ooh,
it's good in the wintertime, bro. And they make barbecue too, bro. Like the meat, they don't like to cook with a lot of fat. It's all lean meat, healthy, good
It's
vegetables.
real food over
yep.
there, not the processed, not the stuff pumped with all the
Yeah, you
microwave.
don't
stuff
see
we
fat
eat,
people.
preservatives. It's the real food over there.
You don't
They'll pull
see
up
fat
on a
people, that's for sure.
No, you don't see fat people.
Oh man,
You do
damn,
not.
damn.
Everyone's in shape.
Good. The food. I think that's one of the things I like traveling the most is the food. But that
Bring
and
your
the
seasoning going to Liverpool. Bring your seasoning going over to Liverpool. Just
yeah,
No,
don't eat
bring some
the food.
seasoning.
We tried this Italian spot out there when we had some lasagna. Yeah, some lasagna. Man, it was good, man. Their food and the Liverpool was so cool because I guess the driver he passed us. He took us by this pub. He not inside obviously, but he's like, you guys see this pub? And we're like, yeah. He's like, the building itself is like 400 years old. He's like,
yep.
before the pub, it
Oh
was
yeah,
this,
tons of those.
that.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, just like that was mind blowing. I was like, damn, can you believe that's 400 years? Like, that's been here. Imagine if the walls could talk, imagine what they would say.
All the
Right.
stories.
You know, a lot
All
of
the
their ovens,
Mhm.
are over 100 years old too. Like they use brick ovens,
Yeah.
and these stones have cooked generations of cheeses and breads,
Mhm.
and this is reason why the flavors are unique to those territories and things like that. But
Yeah, that's why I got to go
definitely,
to Italy.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
If you go
definitely.
overseas, man,
Definitely.
you make sure you take in some of the culture over there after
Oh,
you go and beat the boy down, though.
Yeah, this is the
nah.
victory tour.
Yeah,
This is the
That's
victory tour
right
you're
first.
now,
about
right
to be
now,
on.
that's the number one thing on my mind,
England's
guys.
better,
Just
bro. Yeah,
yeah,
Japan was
that's
for the
the
food
key.
poisoning.
Yeah. Yeah, we always say that as well. Make sure you're taking your own water and you bringing your own food to prepare.
Yeah, don't take no treats from anyone, anything,
Yeah,
Nah.
man. They contain it. Yeah.
no, for sure not, guys, for sure. Yeah.
And let us know if you don't have any warm water in your hotel. They did they did Anthony Yard like that in Russia.
Oh
They made
yeah.
his bags were lost magically, and then when he got to his hotel, he didn't have any hot water. And
They do that boy
Oh,
dirty.
you feel me? Let us know if they do you like
Yeah.
that, because
all
we'll
right,
roast
sounds good.
them a
I'll
little
let you
bit.
guys know, man. After the fight, for sure. We'll obviously we'll
Post-
meet back up and we'll do another interview.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Of course, man. Of course, man. Like I said, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. You
Yeah.
guys are real awesome people, man. Thank you guys for your service and thank you guys for your time, man. It's been such a pleasure talking to you guys.
Hey, good luck. And the
You got this.
we
new.
said that to Angelo, bro. We said that to Angelo right before his fight, bro. We were like, Angelo, and the new. And it
Yeah,
came through,
that's the goal,
bro.
man.
So we're blessing you, bro, and wish you
Thank
nothing but success. And we're gonna stand behind you, man. Win or lose, man. You're a beast, bro, and much respect, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much for your guys' time. Um, and you know, I'm gonna go. I want to go out there and give it everything I got, man. Bring that belt back. That's my goal.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
They
all that
got
matters.
this. They're gonna
yeah,
make a movie out of this comeback. They're gonna make a movie out of this comeback. Just watch.
they are. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Gotta go get something to
Thank
eat.
you, bro.
So, thank you guys. Okay,
All right,
guys.
you be easy, brother.
Appreciate
You
you,
Thank you.
got
brother.
this.
Have a nice day, guys. A nice night. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye, guys.
See ya.
All right, guys. Thank you for
Good
tuning
dude,
in. Lance
good dude.
Meyer, Raheem, Prose, everybody that's tuned in, man. I see you guys. Bruce Gas, Great Fox. Salute to my brothers. Appreciate you. And that was a good interview, man. And he's got a big fight October 5th in Liverpool, England. He's going to be fighting Nick the Wrecking Ball. And yeah, man, it's going to go down. That's in 2 weeks, guys.
That's gonna be an instant
That's
classic.
right.
It's got to
On
bring it
zone.
home. Bring it home for America.
I should have asked him if there was gonna be a rematch clause in there. Should have asked about some of that.
Oh yeah, that's
What
a good.
size is the ring? Is there a rematch clause? You know, that's type of information that helped me get the exact right pick. If I figure out they fighting in one of them Telemundo rings, I know it's going down.
The Telemundo ring.
Yeah, so you do them 16 by 16. It's as small as it get.
Them little joints.
It's called phone booth fighting. You feel me?
Yep. That's the Telemundo ring. That's what he calls it.
When I call, hey, when you hear me refer to Telemundo rings, I'm talking about them 16 by 16s.
Yep.
Sometimes they put dudes that's like 6'2" in there, and they be the booty cheeks be on the top rope.
Oh, that's damn near the bare knuckle joints, the round joints they have, real small ones. Can't go nowhere.
Guaranteed to get carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so you got to check the bare knuckle stuff out. It's fun.
Oh, we do.
It's fun.
Yeah, we do.
Definitely watch some bare knuckle. That's straight carnage.
I went to a live event. They had a regional event up here, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, the one I went here hooked me, bro. It turned me into a fan. I wasn't even like a big supporter. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, it's crazy, you know. And I went to an event with Coach Green. I was in the chat earlier. It's my coach right there. We went together, and it was bad. I was with the Juggernaut, and when he rose from the dead, bro, against Richmond.
Oh, it's classic because he was hurting. But I mean, it's just like Muay Thai knows out of the boxing kind of comfort zone, but Muay Thai watching that live, if I catch an elbow to the face,
they run an elbow through there nasty.
Yeah. Knee to the face, man.
Yeah,
high kick. Tell you, knock the race off someone's face.
Yeah. Every Friday night, bro. Every Friday night they got those fights with that lady yelling, bro. It's a lady commentator on one Friday fights.
Oh, one, yeah. So they'll do. The good thing about one is why
they calls the players to the ring.
They do grappling, they do MMA, they do Muay Thai, they do all that stuff.
Not the commentator, but the announcer, female announcer.
Oh yeah, she's like the old announcer for Pride Fighting back in the day. They yelled the name out, Quinn Rampage Jackson, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, she puts a lot of
She'll be sizing them up.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys. Another great interview, man. Hey, we had Angelo Leo on before his big fight, man, with Vinalo, and he became a world champ. So I'm wishing him nothing but success, man.
Keep that positive energy going.
He definitely can do it, man. You look at his last 2 title fights, bro. I mean, he went the distance, man. And Ray Vargas was controversial, you know, and with Ahmed Aliyev, it was a final round knockout. So. Hey man,
that was a different Ray Vargas than Ball fought too. So he fought I think a tougher Ray Vargas.
I don't know if I was paying attention, but I was peeping out what he was saying about how he works out his forearms and things like that, and how he understands how things are connected. Yeah. That's some different level thinking right there. He's coming up with workout programs while he's supposed to be paying attention to movies.
Yeah, now he's constantly working.
He's in it to win. And ain't no this ain't.
It's gonna happen.
This ain't I'm going over there to lay down type talk.
Oh no, he's definitely he's getting that strap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, guys, appreciate you, man. It's late.
All right.
But thank you guys. Peace.
All right, bro.
Appreciate y'all. See ya.